What do you think smart people have in common? A lot of people think of intelligence as something you're just born with. After all, some people make being smart look effortless. But intelligence isn't a fixed trait, it's a changeable, flexible ability to learn and stimulate your brain that can improve over time. What smart people have in common is a commitment to lifestyle habits that support and protect their mental health. Habits make the man, and this is certainly true when you look at popular entrepreneurs and scientists who have risen to the top of their fields thanks to their ability to invent solutions to everyday problems. We've rounded up the 15 habits they all have in common that we think are important for making you smarter every day. But before we go any further, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss out on our daily dose of entertaining and educational videos. Let's get started. Number 1. Ask questions. The German philosopher Hans-Georg Gadamer once said, "Knowledge can only be with those who have questions." Most people don't ask questions because they think they'll look stupid, but they couldn't be further from the truth. Learning involves asking questions and finding answers. As children, the depth of our curiosity knows no bounds. Everything around us piques our interest. Why is the sky blue? Why do cats meow? So if you don't understand something or you're not sure, don't be afraid to ask. Even ask yourself questions and research the answers on your own. When you get home, instead of watching TV, look online for material that will help you understand topics you're interested in but a little confused about. Don't neglect this simple but time-consuming practice. It may just increase your intelligence significantly. Number 2. Read across genres. The brain is a very powerful tool, and reading is the mental exercise it needs to stay in tip-top shape. Thanks to smartphones, tablets, e-readers, and, of course, the internet, we have instant access to almost every book ever written by humans. Yet we often waste time watching funny videos of cats and dogs on Instagram while mindlessly scrolling through a news feed. It's undoubtedly a way to relax and feel happier, but it's not realistic or healthy to spend all your free time doing this. Reading frequently, however, can not only help you stay informed and train your brain to function well, but it can also help you learn new things all the time. The best choices are books, educational journals, in-depth articles, and websites. Maintain your own reading routine, even if it is just reading a portion of a chapter each day. Your intellect will grow with time. Number 3. Hang out with smart people. Friends can teach you new skills and keep your mind active. Our environment shapes our values, beliefs, ways of thinking, and spending time with intellectuals will help feed your brain. Because with smart people, there's always something to discuss, and there's always something to learn from them. Granted, you may still sometimes feel like you don't know enough, but even that has its benefits. You are adapting to your surroundings, and your mind will force you to make the effort to improve as a result of acknowledging your shortcomings. Your friends don't have to be smarter than you. The important thing is that they always have interesting things to discuss and are pace-setters in whatever field they work. Intellectuals already know how to feed their brains, so spending time with them is very beneficial to acquiring not only knowledge, but also a learning style. Number 4. Take time to think. Are all easily distracted from one thing to another without properly understanding the true essence of the information received? The habit of pausing to reflect on what you've learned is extremely beneficial and, in fact, an important part of the learning process. Taking time to think allows you to consider all the factors that might be directly or indirectly related to what you're doing. You can plan 3 to 5 steps ahead, and you will rarely be caught flat-footed. The same goes for conversations. Smart people listen more and talk less, and they manage to get a lot done with fewer words. Number 5. Exercise often. Don't overlook exercise and its effect on our smarts. The brain and body are constantly working together, and our overall energy and physical health have a direct impact on the quality of our thinking. As you grow cognitively, remember that you should also grow physically, as the two are intertwined. Physical exercise also instills discipline, which is beneficial for the efficient growth of positive habits and new information. Try to make time for at least one form of exercise whenever possible. You can join your local gym, get some running shoes and go for a few miles, or simply practice yoga or other exercises at home. Anything works, just get your body moving more. Number 6. Prioritize healthy eating. You must be familiar with the popular notion that glucose is the ideal fuel for the brain, but a well-balanced diet, rich in the vitamins and minerals you need, is the best fuel you can get for your mind's engine. The optimal diet for brain performance includes adequate protein, moderate amounts of carbohydrates, and sufficient healthy fats. Whole grains, lean meats, nuts, fish, and dairy products should be on your table, and it's also a good idea to get into the habit of eating just enough to be satisfied, and to avoid junk food as much as possible, as it tires you out and can cause some health complications in the long run. Number 7. Keep a food diary. It's been proven in group studies that a few minutes spent reflecting on the day's events and thoughts in writing increases brain performance. Nothing motivates and helps you get smarter like personal experiences and accomplishments. Take a few minutes each evening to write down your thoughts, events, and insights from the day. This will give you the opportunity to analyze the ideas, thoughts, and questions that come to mind. Then there is the added benefit that writing often makes you smarter overall by expanding your language and communication skills. Since journaling is language practice, learning new terms and expanding your vocabulary will increase your IQ. Number 8. Do something new. Even if you think it won't work, practice makes perfect. Smart people are not unnecessarily afraid of failure. They understand the universal truth that nothing can really be learned without practice. And so they're up for the challenge. It's impossible to learn a new equation if you don't try asking questions about it. It's the same with learning to play the guitar if you don't try the chords for yourself. Sometimes outstanding and even spectacular successes are the result of something that scared us to death. Number 9. Apply and share new knowledge. If you don't intend to use what you learn, there's no point in studying it. Smart people always apply what they've learned, not because it helps them succeed, but because sharing their intellectual resources makes them more valuable. Have you read a book? Discuss it with people who've read it. The best way to reinforce and understand the material is to share new information and concepts. In such a discussion, you will learn more about the work itself, as well as the lessons others have discovered. It doesn't matter who you share your thoughts with: family, friends, colleagues, members of a social networking group, or a message board. It's the act of sharing knowledge itself that enriches your understanding and helps you reach more informed conclusions. Number 10. Be selective about where you put your efforts. Smart people tend to have few friends, but they make up for the lack of numbers with deep and genuine friendships. Those with whom you spend time, including your loved ones, reflect your personal identity and needs, and guide you toward understanding yourself and the world around you. Beyond friendships, if you're careful about what you give your attention to, you'll be able to work optimally without unnecessary distractions. Smart people find it easy to keep their priorities in order. Think of a mental checklist. It's much easier to follow the next agenda on your list than to juggle all your plans at once. Number 11. Take short breaks from work. In the age of total digitalization, our brains are literally burning out from the bombardment of information. Being in touch with what's going on isn't always a good thing. That's why sometimes even a short vacation is necessary to stay creative and prevent cognitive burnout. After working for several hours, weeks, or months, and due to the lack of breaks and moments of mental calm, we begin to think superficially and automatically. The same goes for reading. You will assimilate better if you take a break after a few hours of reading. During this free time, you can take a short walk, meditate, exercise, or do some chores around the house. Just give yourself a mental break. Number 12. Learn to be organized. In their devices and instant messages, both at home and at work, people who are in the habit of keeping things in order tend to be smart. Disorganized items, frequent message alerts, clutter on the desktop and in work folders all distract the mind from tasks and reduce productivity. Your mind will work more effectively the less clutter there is in the area where you live and work. Get in the habit of putting things away immediately. Create several themed folders on your desktop and avoid storing individual papers there. Number 13. Study other people's behaviors. Smart people tend to be understanding in their own way, taking into account things like their colleagues' motivation, their perspective on the project, and the amount of help they need. Try to understand the situations of the people around you. It takes a lot of intellectual effort, but in the long run you'll have better social skills and be able to make the right decisions, especially when other people are involved. Number 14. Be an active observer. You can see everything around you, but are you really paying attention? Many of us observe the world uncritically, focusing primarily on the things that affect us immediately. Instead, take a few minutes each day to critically examine your surroundings. Examine the normal daily interactions that take place in your environment on a global, interpersonal, and societal level. This should be normal for everyone, but given the circumstances of our times, it's a useful practice that's a little unpopular. When you turn your attention outside of yourself and actively pay attention to details, you'll be surprised at what you discover about your surroundings. Give it a try. Number 15. Sleep when you need. Studies show that giving our bodies more downtime helps our brains function better in terms of memory, attention, and focus. It was also found that those who usually stayed up late and got up early had worse attention levels than their peers who slept longer. The brain processes information from the previous day while you sleep. Adequate rest strengthens memory and removes amyloid and tau proteins associated with plaque formation in Alzheimer's disease. Although there is no set amount of sleep that everyone should get, different people need different amounts of sleep. Your main priority should be to rest when your body needs it. Habits require minimal awareness to be performed, so you need to make these things habits. Now, some of these actions may seem strange at first. Consistent practice will make them a part of you, and it'll be seamless. And with that, we're wrapping up for today, but we have a bonus for you. Don't go anywhere. Number 16. Play games that engage the mind. A particularly beneficial way to spend your time is to play games that force you to think creatively, use your imagination, and solve constantly evolving problems. They sharpen your mental skills while bringing you joy and happiness. In fact, a 2019 study found that those who played one or more games that frequently challenged their thinking process performed better cognitively than those who didn't. Mental games like crossword puzzles or Sudoku don't have an age limit and can be enjoyed by both adults and children. Well, that's it for today's video. Let us know in the comments which of these habits you think would have the best effect on your overall smarts. And be sure to leave us a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an upload. We'll see you again tomorrow.